All right. I'd like to call the order of the Winfield Planning Commission. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can I have a roll call, please?
John Orwinski.
Present.
Mark Nelson.
Present.
Tim Clayton.
Present.
Dave Anderson.
Yep.
Jim Pajic.
Here.
Bill Metzger.
Here.
Although Joe Casey is not here. Michael Duffy.
Here.
Sean Finney.
Here.
We do not have legal here this evening.
Oh.
Deb is out, and I am Nick Miller, and I am here.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. In front of you, we have the minutes from August 14th and September 10th. What are the wishes of the board, if any?
Make a motion that we approve the minutes from August 14th, 2025 and September 10th.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson's motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A second by Phil. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. We have no old business currently on the agenda, and we're moving right into new business. Item number 1, this is a discussion item only for residential development, Diamond Peak Homes in the vicinity of 11500 Randolph Street.
Just continue working there, Mike.
Good evening. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
My name is Michael Herbers with Diamond Peak Homes, here representing Latitude Development, 1313 White Hawk Drive in Crown Point. I was in front of you guys back in September presenting our Elks development, which is just north of Latitude off of Randolph Street. And I do have hard copies of all this too that I can hand out. So I know we had a pretty constructive criticism discussion last time around, so we went back to the drawing board, took everyone's feedback to heart, and kind of implemented it into this project. So I will hand these out now. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So I do have one more handout that we'll get to when we get to more of the renderings of the townhomes that we have in this project. But to start on slide 1, I know Mr. Dwinski, you made a comment about wanting to see more of a bird's eye view of how this whole parcel ties into the north to the south and then what it looks like east to west. So this is more of a, I guess, 50,000 foot view just to see connection points, layout design, and things of that nature. Next slide is the site as a whole, kind of zoomed in a little closer just so you can see the components of the commercial along Randolph, the townhome complex, along with the single-family homes just west of there. Moving forward into the townhomes, since that was the kind of the major discussion last time we spoke, or last time we were in front of you guys, we did change. I know we had a mix of kind of 4, 5, and I think there was a 7-unit building in there. So we did tone all those back. The largest building is a 4-unit building. And we do have a couple 3-unit buildings filtered in there as well. So I think it dropped our 55 townhome count down to 52. A couple other points of discussion, curb and gutter was asked. We did not have the curb shown within the townhome or the townhome section. Those will be private roads. We did show on our revision the curb and gutter throughout the development. I believe I don't think our driveways are really called out, so we did show these as concrete driveways now. There was discussion back and forth, are they asphalt, are they concrete? So we are showing the concrete driveways there. Another point of discussion was parking. Would there be enough parking? Obviously, if there are birthday parties, Super Bowl parties, any sort of gatherings that would require, friends or family coming in from out of town. So we did show some, I guess, on-street parking within that kind of central park area. So that should be, looking at this, ample parking in my opinion. Of course, there's still parking within the garages and driveways themselves as well. I'm trying to think, another point of discussion, the townhomes looking west out to the single-family section. There was discussions about creating a buffer there, so we did show additional landscaping between, obviously, the townhomes and the single-family home section, so there would be some sort of, I don't know if it would be a landscape easement, but there would be additional landscaping added to provide the buffer from the single-family homes to those townhomes.
2 questions.
Yes, sir.
Number 1 is to the north of you. I think we're all aware of this, but just want to point it out. Go back to your 50,000 square foot view, backwards. Yep. To the north of that are the current, lack of a better word, townhomes,
Correct.
and the Providence townhomes and the school, correct?
Yes.
That my
Yep.
school
The
or
daycare.
Yeah, the daycare,
Mhm.
right there. So that's all to the north of your development. And then, as for the product itself, do you have the original picture?
Yes, the inspiration photo?
Yes.
Yep, and that's where I was going to, as we got into the discussion of the townhomes, pass that out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So in front of you, you kind of have our inspiration photo for our townhome complex. I forgot to add it into the slideshow, so I apologize. So I printed off hard copies. Again, very modern, sleek looking. You know, there was conversations at the last Plan Commission meeting about adding some more, not necessarily architectural detail in the front, but some more offsets just to provide, you know, breaking up the monotony of a single walled building. So kind of touching base on these buildings, again, there will be 3-unit and 4-unit buildings, probably ranging in square footage from plus or minus 1,600 square feet up to right around 2,200 square feet when it's all said and done. They would all be, you know, for sale homes. It's not a rental product. We would do brick or stone on the front facade along with the sides, and in the rear probably do some sort of higher end vinyl siding. Again, I know there was also a discussion of where we would put the HVAC or the air conditioning units, the AC units. That's still up for determination. More than likely would go in the rear of the building just to hide them from any sightline from the street or, again, any street driving through there.
So 2 more things.
Yes, sir.
Not the HVAC piece yet, but number 1, if you're going to wrap it in brick, in the photo you're showing, and maybe it's just the photo, I don't know what everybody else's feeling is on this, but that off-white versus the pure white, that might be, you know, I don't know, I like the off-white, but, you know, it's just a stylistic comment, that's it.
Yeah.
And then, along those same lines, instead of using a vinyl siding, if these are gonna be more high-end, can you use like a LP, a hardy board, something more than vinyl?
Yeah, it's something we can definitely look into that.
So that's just a suggestion.
So I guess since you brought up the color, I mean, what is everyone's thoughts on the white or off-white / cream colors?
Again, that's just a stylistic, that was
Yeah,
a preference on my.
But I'm curious, because I know we talked internally too between the inspiration photo and of course the rendering, so I'm just kind of curious to hear what everyone here thinks of it.
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw originally, I wasn't here at the last one.
Mhm.
From what I saw originally versus what I'm flipping through now, especially with the side windows on the side, having them, it's not a white wall, you have the indentations, it's more closely resembles the original photo than what is in, than I think what was originally inspired, creates depth, architecture, things of that nature. So, yeah, I you know, can you touch on the backyards real quick?
Yeah, so,
Because each one of these has, if I remember correctly, each one of these has their own individual backyard separated but not connected. It's not just the divider separating it. It's a self-contained unit.
correct, so, and we were getting there, Dave, but I
Oh,
appreciate
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I
I mean, I don't know that we need to rehash the whole thing.
Right, yeah, I guess I'm just.
I'm
providing
just skipping
details.
around going, okay, what about the backyard?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, backyards, they will have their own separate quote-unquote living space. We will have, you know, a divider fence to provide that privacy, to allow for patio furniture, grills, seating areas, just so when you do go outside, you do feel like you have your own quote-unquote backyard. Obviously, yes, it's a townhome, so you do have neighbors right next door, but at least this way, if you're walking out your back door, you're not looking directly at your neighbor who might be out there taking his dog out, having his morning cup of coffee, doing who knows what. So that is you know, a nice feature on these as well. And of course, they do have attached garages, but they are set off from the building. Obviously, you can see kind of a quote-unquote breezeway right there that feeds to the patio aspect of the townhome. And then beyond that, you do have the attached garage. So that's kind of the,
I just think that, you know, showing the back, in the back here, you're gonna do all that nice work out front. The back should be complementary to the front. I mean, instead of using vinyl, you can say high quality all you want, it's still vinyl.
understood.
So, you know,
Understood.
if you're gonna say, hey, these are high end, don't do it high end in the front and cheap in the back and have it look like crap in the back. Do it a little higher end, so it is aesthetically, you know, better.
Right, understood. Yep. So I guess that's the townhome complex in a nutshell. I know, like I said, I was here 2 months ago presenting. There was a lot of back and forth. I believe we did hit on all points of potential contention, so would like to hear, obviously, feedback, additional comments, questions.
I do have one comment just on the inspiration photo compared to what's presented, I guess, on sheet A11. On the inspiration photo, it kind of shows a much wider front service walk. And you can see on the rendering here, it's, you know, the steps basically, half of the steps go straight down into the grass. So you'd want to do something there, either widen that service walk or make kind of a little landing area down there to transition into the service walk.
Mhm,
You know what I mean?
okay.
Serious.
Big of an area is at the back.
Ooh, that is a great question. I don't have dimensions off the top of my head. I would venture to guess you're probably 14 by 14, give or take.
What was the square footage of the townhomes again?
Ranging probably between 1,600 square foot for more of the interior units, and then the exterior units would look to be probably plus or minus 2,200 square feet.
And then, where's the stormwater retention on this site?
So that is one thing we have not dove into just yet. Of course, there's a park in the, we'll call it the top left corner of this picture here. So we did talk about adding a stormwater aspect kind of in that park. It is a plus or minus 3 acre park. Obviously, the green space is nice, but if we could add some sort of water feature as well, we would use that as the stormwater detention for that area.
The other two big pockets, that's just open grassland or open park?
Are you talking about the 50,000 foot view?
Yes.
Yeah, so, and that's one thing that I forgot to mention, or forgot to bring up to our rendering, or our architectural firm, to show in the bodies of water as well. So the big green spaces are, will be the stormwater for the site, or the detention for the site.
That's, okay. Because that's where is that a regulated ditch through there?
No,
No, just a ditch.
correct. The roads to the north, are they gonna connect to the to the townhomes now?
Yes.
They are.
Yes. Yeah, we'll have, obviously, there's, again, it's a very weird, odd layout up there. There will be a road that will connect into the townhome portion, and then I believe it's right behind that daycare / learning center as well.
Nick, do you know if there was any appetite to have this stub out to the west for future development from the town's perspective?
We need to see connectivity to the west, for sure.
Yeah, I thought that was brought up at the last meeting.
Yeah, it was, and I know there were some conversations had on that as well. We have had discussions with the owner to the west and have not come to terms with any sort of agreement just yet. So that, yeah, that is something that we can look into, stubbing a road to the west, or maybe leaving an open lot or outlot per se.
An outlot. Well, that's what we did in Ellsworth. We left an outlot right where it could connect to Prairie Crossings, if you recall, in that northwest cul-de-sac.
Well, there's gonna have to be a connector there. We could leave it as an outlot because that piece of land's trapped
Yep.
on
Yeah.
each side. And so you're gonna have to leave an outlet. One of those homes has to,
There
Have
is
to
frontage
go.
for that property on 117th Avenue. Just FYI.
yeah, but you're still
A
gonna need,
landlocked, technically.
well, it is, because you need two. So you're gonna have to get in, you want more connectivity inside than you do on it on 117th.
You're saying there's enough frontage on 117th to do 2 entrances?
You need two.
Well, depends on what that would develop into.
It would be
Or
better,
it wouldn't
it would be better to connect and run the traffic inside
I don't disagree.
and then put another turn where it doesn't match up to anything, like Latitude does now, matches up to Clover Grove, so you could do something there. I would try to keep it off 117th as much as you can.
Yeah, sure.
So I do think you'd have to lose a lot and then just leave it as an outlot, because who knows what those people are gonna do and when they're
Right.
gonna do it.
Okay.
You had discussions with the one parcel on Randolph there that looks like they have a swimming pool and everything?
Yes, we have had some discussions with them over the last couple months, still in discussion. We're hoping to work that one out as well, just to obviously clean up that whole commercial corridor and make it one cohesive unit there.
Well, how many total single-family units are we looking at here?
Pardon me?
How many single-family units?
So there would be 167 single-family units, eliminating the one on the western boundary. All these lots are 80 by 135. Of course, corner lots are plus or minus 90 by 135. Again, it would be, don't want to say our similar lineup in Latitude, because we have added additional floor plans, additional elevations to our homes. We would look to do a more architecturally appealing front as well. We would probably do, obviously, a minimum of stone along with all LP fronts as well, just so that curb appeal, obviously from frontage, looks more appealing as you're driving through, obviously higher value, all bonuses to a new development.
So do we think that this is worthy of, I think you need to go back and adjust a couple things on this plan.
Okay.
This is just my thought. Show the empty lot, show where the water retention is gonna go. I'm not saying I'm not saying do engineering, I'm just saying a rendering of where it's gonna, the water's gonna be, et cetera. So the board has a more complete vision of what it's gonna be. But do we think as a board that, I mean, it's all gonna come down to the town. So, gotta give some feedback as to whether, the revision of the townhomes, I are more closely to the picture. Might need a little more tweaking, but I'm okay with it.
How many townhome units are there?
52.
52 total units, between 3 and 4
Mhm.
units per building.
And if I remember correctly, you plan on pricing these up in the 4s?
Yeah, more than likely, especially adding additional LP in the rear, that's going to,
Black windows,
correct,
LP,
LP
is it
stone.
meant to be higher end? Homes not, yes. And then, yeah, okay, I'll just leave something there. So anyway, I think these look more closer versus what I saw originally, which is just the white wall,
Yep.
which is not good. So.
I'd be in favor of the townhomes as they are.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I think a couple tweaks, but.
Yeah, and we can definitely do that. I guess, obviously, we're not voting, we have two that are in
Well,
favor with some tweaks.
It's not a vote, but.
Right,
I
right,
don't
but
want
I'm
you to
good.
often spend a ton of cash either, if everybody else is like, no.
Yeah, and that's where I'd like to work on taking that next step with doing some of the preliminary site plan, preliminary engineering. Because obviously, next time would be a month from now, and, you know, we'd like to get this project moving forward as efficiently as possible.
Does anybody else have any feedback, I think is what Mike is asking.
And I'm overall.
Trying to translate that a little.
I'm not a big fan of townhomes in general, but I think this might be a good spot for him to kind of transition out of the other one. So I'm kind of with Dave. Like I could live with them, but I think I need a little bit more. I mean, they're nice. They're really nice. They're definitely unique. We've definitely asked about getting things unique. So I think we're on the right track. And I'm just gonna say I'd like to see less of them. I know they may not be practical. I'm gonna tell the next people I'm gonna like to see less of them, and I don't even know what it is yet. But I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna leave with, I know there was some discussion about the commercial last time, and I'm gonna kind of pass it down to Jim. Is there anything you had to add on that, or no?
He moved the buildings, I see that. He moved them forward. There's really not a whole lot to discuss on them. It's just, they're placeholders still, so I'm okay with that.
Bring it up now.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Anything about, the other elephant in the room is the traffic light?
Yes.
Any traffic studies?
Well,
preliminary
it's
studies?
beyond traffic light. Let's be clear. It's not just like,
Yeah, so-
we're gonna put a light out there. It's a whole.
Yeah, so a traffic study has been done. Obviously, we would submit that with all of our engineering approvals, all of that fun stuff. So as it sits, the traffic light would get triggered depending on what type of commercial users are there. However, we're gonna put one in just because it's easier to say, yes, we're gonna put it in, as opposed to we're gonna try and tiptoe that fine line and get away with not doing it. So there will be a traffic light there. There will be as you're heading north on Randolph, a left turn lane into the development. Obviously, there'll be XL and DSL lanes as you're exiting the development. So yeah, that whole intersection would be improved for, safety reasons and traffic flow. I know there was talks about painting crosswalks across as well, because there's the potential of people leaving the school, going across the commercial aspect. So yeah, all that would be, part of that improvement as
And
well.
again, I know Mark's gonna bring it up, and rightfully so, the school and the traffic and the nightmare that happens 6 times a year.
Yeah, well, 6 times now, it seems like it's, even on events, they have, yeah.
They're parked on the shoulder all the way down the street.
Yeah,
so.
there's cars parked in the grass all the way to the medical center
Mm-hmm.
to the north, and it just becomes complete chaos. So are you willing to sacrifice a bunch of commercial parking spots for a parents' night? Because you're gonna have 200 cars there.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not gonna care.
This is true, and of course, obviously, commercial tenant put up signs, patron parking only, or whatever those signs read. But to your point, people won't care, they'll still park there.
Yeah, well, they're either gonna park there, or they're gonna park on the grass, and it's
Right.
even worse then.
Right, yeah, I guess I don't want to say that's nature, that's the
But
world we live in,
It's just when
but,
your commercial customers come in, they're gonna have to understand that
yeah.
no matter what, there's going to be,
Are you guys gonna own the buildings? Or are you guys just gonna sell the lots?
We would probably look to sell the lots.
So they might not even be the owner at the end of the day.
Right.
So if they're gonna sell, if they're just gonna be moving land, selling lots, and then let it out, then we'll have to address that with
Those individuals.
those individuals that come in. Yeah, look, it will be a problem, but,
because no matter what, you're dropping more houses, so schools are getting bigger.
Mhm.
So those kids are going somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yes, glad you touched on traffic, because traffic is the biggest thing that we got right there. Definitely need to see some sort of rendering in that of what that's gonna look like. We said passing blisters, we said, you know, Excel, decel lanes, all that. We said all the nice bells and whistles. I'm glad that you already know that the traffic light's a must. It's not even, I don't care what the traffic study says, because our residents don't care about what the traffic study says either. They have to live in that area as well. Not a huge fan of the townhouses. I've never really been to that. I will say that your off-white is better than the solid white. There's an area in Munster that your first renderings looked like the apartments that were out over there off of the President Streets over there that I wasn't. It's the first thing that brought to my attention is that. So they look like the apartments over there. The black trim in that, you know, is really nice in that, you know, so it's different. It's different. I don't know if I'm still a fan of it. I just gotta go through a little bit more, but again, I'm one of here. Definitely we brought it up about the stormwater. I know you got a lot of water in that area too to deal with, so definitely gotta figure that out. Cause that is a huge thing, cause a lot of that water goes to that parcel to the left. So we wanna make sure that we maintain, that. I think you guys dealt with it, on the southern portion. So you're well aware of that. But the big thing is definitely the traffic off of Randolph there. It will be the biggest issue, that if we can overcome that and just keep that flowing. It's still to see, personally for me. So yeah, so you got some work ahead of you. I know Dave put up a list of things to go with. So.
Well, like I said about that traffic, it's not just a light. You have to come up with
Oh, yeah.
a configuration. My thing is just, is there enough for him to start down that path for him to come back to us and say, all right, hey, here's our, because I'm not saying this is done. That's a big project you gotta tackle.
No, that's why I said about the traffic on there. I need to see something for that, because that's,
Oh, yeah, I agree, 100%.
I know you have the connections at the north and the south, you know, to be able to alleviate some of that traffic. You know, you're gonna get a ton of traffic that's gonna be coming through there from the north. So you're gonna wanna look at those roads there, because you will get a ton of traffic, because that's connected to everything that's north of there. So you're gonna pull traffic from all those subdivisions all the way up through here and that, so. I don't know if when they did the traffic study, they thought about that, or if they just put it all out onto the main roads or not.
No,
They get a ton of traffic coming through that subdivision straight into that, because, again, they find that it's like water, parents find the shortest route, so.
Yeah, they take the whole regional area into effect there, so. And I guess question for you as well, outside of, you know, turn lanes, passing blister, XL, decel lanes, traffic light, widening Randolph on our side, curb and guttering, obviously north to south, that whole commercial strip there. I guess, what else would you look for? I know you made a comment about the traffic study's nice, but no one really cares about what it says. So I'm just curious, what other improvements?
We care about what it says, our engineers care about
Right.
what it says, but everybody outside of this building does not care about what it says. You know, it's, because they live it. You guys come here and build, you guys come here and make your money in that. We all, and I understand that, I'm not knocking that. But at the end of the day, the residents that live down here will have to deal with all that extra that goes there. All the residents that live up here have to deal with that too. So anything that comes into this town, you know, we gotta look at what, you know, the traffic with that. I'm not telling you that you need to go through and widen Randolph all the way down north and south. No, that's ridiculous. I can't do that. But there's huge concern that we have, you know, and we've been bringing that up more and more and everything, of trying to figure out that traffic.
So some of that stuff would probably come up with
Yeah.
when they do the design, when, you know, they had the study,
Mhm.
but they haven't done any of the engineering design.
Yeah, and that's why I said
And
some
that
renderings or
would take-
whatever.
And Mike's asking about sort of
Yeah.
the next step.
Well,
Yeah.
I think there's enough, and please, anybody correct me, I think there's enough there now to spend maybe a little more cash to come back and say, here's what it would look like. Type, you know, like, where's the intersection, what that might look like, or I mean, look, if you want to fully engineer it and do it up and then work with Nick, I mean, I'll leave that to you and submit, but I think from a house perspective, fine. I'm okay with the townhomes, again, with a couple tweaks to it. But I think you need to show them stormwater, and that's on the list, and I think you need to show what's gonna happen with, you know, the traffic. That's my thought.
Okay.
So, you know, I think that's what, if you wanna go down that path and say, hey, those are the things that have to be worked through. I think the stormwater is pretty workable when I about that.
Yeah, probably if you had just shaded some areas blue,
I'm not,
that'd probably been handled.
you asked,
You'll be
opinion
handled either
on, traffic help or whatever, what the thing is, like, that Mark brought up a very valid point. I don't know if it is or not, but it's something to think about, because again, I'm not an engineer at all. The northern portion right there in Randolph, the top of your last commercial building there,
Mhm.
is that another entrance onto there to alleviate traffic? I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if we want to cut more into Randolph.
Yeah, I know.
That's something that you guys, can talk over with DLZ even too, if that's something that,
You're
that
right,
lines
you're right
up-
across from the medical center then too.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and that's where I think that was discussed in one of the first meetings, I think, that the less cuts on Randolph, the better.
Yeah.
So, I
but
guess.
I don't know if that's something that would,
And you would have to put, the thing is, you don't want people making left turns. That's the main thing. Left turns cause problems. Traffic backups, problems, wrecks. So how do you get them into one spot to get them to go? So, you know.
right in, right out entrance for that, to
Yeah.
allow that.
Yeah, you
You
can
know.
put a big
You can
block
pork
in
chop
there.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if that's something, because then that that would alleviate traffic all the way down at the school. So,
It'll work.
I don't think it would, but,
so, it's thoughts.
Everybody uses it, they use it how they want to.
yeah, there'll be left turns coming out of it. Oh,
Yeah.
I see it today.
It'll be a windy
At a certain subdivision off 109th.
I agree.
So you have a roundabout.
No, I've seen that, I've seen
Left turns.
left turns on that too, yes, I agree.
Alright.
So, but like I said, I guess just from my perspective, I think there's enough there to go back, put it together. I think you do need to work on that traffic thing a little bit, maybe get with Mike.
I would recommend if they've already done the study, that they get it to us in advance, so that way, if we have any significant problems with it, they can take it into account with their engineering as opposed to getting too far down the road,
Yeah,
And making changes.
and then making changes.
Yeah, because, like to one of Tim's points though, the more you can take the traffic and so for instance, I'm just throwing something out here. So you're gonna have the light and the improvement all down by the school, that's gonna be a big project, right? But then you can go up through, where my school's at, right there, to the north, and we have that coming out, right there. You just make it so that those are the two entrances, essentially, you have to come, you can't cut, make it so you can't cut through the commercial at all from the neighborhood, but you go up and then you can put, the traffic can, queue up top there as well. So, that's just something to look at, so put more cuts on there, you already got one there on the north of my school, that's already there by the townhomes, just to the north. As long as you have them come out by the school, they come out there, or you force everybody north, there is no, you can't take your car and drive into, I'm just making stuff up, in terms of ideas.
Sounds like that.
Well, one problem you're gonna have is if you get commercial in there, it might be a little crazy. So, anyway, just
Disregard all that.
spitballing. Anyway, all right.
You're the engineers.
Hey, that's my turn.
I do tax, that's what I do.
Irish tax. Any questions for us?
I think that covered it.
Okay,
All right.
thanks for
Come
coming
on.
out.
Thanks.
Okay, thank
When
you.
send the updated site plan
Okay.
with it. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
This said Mike.
Pardon?
This off-white's better than that solid white, in my opinion, I do like that.
That helps.
You asked the question, and I don't think we answered it, but that was. Okay.
I appreciate it, thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, moving on, discussion item number 2, another residential development. This is Altoff Homes at 5601 East 117th Avenue. Todd? Would ever like to lead the charge?
That's fine. Pretty cool. I'll throw it. It's very fragile. Yeah, podium.
Good evening, I'm Todd Altoff. Thanks for inviting us back to review Copperstone again. We're excited about this new community. I'm here today with Ed Rechtenwald, our Director of Land Development, Aaron Gardner, our Director of Architecture, my brother Fritz Altoff, and Kevin Pasco, who's also on our Land Development team. So today, I'm going to briefly go through what we're going to look at today, and then Aaron and Ed will go through the details. Just to review Copperstone, our vision for Copperstone is a vibrant, multi-generational community for Winfield. Our plan would be for Copperstone to add to the established character of Winfield and become one of Winfield's signature communities. We're looking to elevate our offering for this community. We want to attract growing families, young professionals, active adults, those that live in town and those that want to relocate here. So we're pretty excited about it. We're going to be going to walk through a few details here. The community will have a theme designed specifically for Copperstone that will connect the community and the architecture. So the details that you see in the homes, you'll see those details reflected also in some of the details we have for corners and whatnot, and markers that kind of define the community. Last time we reviewed 3 home collections that will be offered at Copperstone as well as the land plan. 2 of the home collections are brand new for us, designed exclusively for Copperstone, so we're pretty excited about those. We'll do a review of those again here today. At the conclusion of our last meeting, it was requested that we bring back some additional land plans to review. The goal was to increase the single-family components that we're showing and reduce the Sonoma Collection townhome component. And so we have some options that we'll be able to walk through here today. We'll also be talking about the roundabout that's on the corner of 117th and Gibson. We'll have a contribution that we can make towards that to assist with getting that constructed. And then finally, we would offer that the town could create a TIP district over Copperstone community. We know that there's going to be some fire and police needs, perhaps some infrastructure needs in town, and we don't need this for any of our benefit at all. We would have no funds that would come from it, and it would be exclusively for the town because there will be some additional needs that will come, and we create this district so that you can be the beneficiary of it. So. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Aaron. Aaron's going to talk a little bit about the architecture, just a review of what we had from last time.
Great. Thanks, Todd. Thanks, everyone. So last time what we did, we went through the individual products. So I'll run through these again for those that haven't seen them, and then a recap for those that have. So this is our Napa collection. We'll start with this one. These are our single-story ranch townhomes. These will range from 14 to 1,700 square foot. They're all 3 bedrooms with an emphasis on streetscape and the overall aesthetic that these bring. So we're really focused on a style here. We're bringing it new with this product, as Todd said, focusing on Northern California farmhouse. Really, this means for us just a cohesive design, something that we can focus on as far as the details and the elements of the architecture go. And we're able to do this through a number of things, so I'll kind of run through them now. These are elevations, and just so you know, we've done both a mix of with the trees and without, just to emphasize and express the architecture. So I'll run through these now and just point out a few items that we've focused on with these designs in that Northern California farmhouse. Really, we're starting with a very dark, deep, rich color tones. This is carried through with both the townhome products, focusing on black windows those black trims, something that really grounds the architecture and emphasizes a lot of the details. We're being intentional with the use of masonry, how it fits not only across the full assembly, but on each townhome unit. And in some cases, we're even popping up above the roof line, just to create a little bit more of a visual vertical emphasis. We're being intentional about the use of living forward and creating porches that feel inviting and unique for each of the townhomes. We're bringing that forward past the garages, again, just to de-emphasize those garage spaces. We're also being intentional about the separation between individuals, their own entries, and their neighbors. So keeping a balance and symmetry along the streetscape. These are shown in 3 and 4 townhome assemblies. We really feel like this adds a nice balance. In architecture, there's a focus on odds and evens, and this number throughout the community can really find a nice balance for us. We're also playing with the use of steeper pitches and a variety of the pitches for the roofs, some shed dormers and some gables. We're playing with corner breaks in cases like this, just to soften the architecture at the corners and create a little bit more of a visual interest. That's something that feels much more softened as you approach. So this is our Napa collection. I will move now to our Sonoma collection. So this is our 2-story Sonoma collection. Again, a lot of the architecture details and thought goes in with this one as the Napa collection. One thing I will start by saying is we started with 6-unit, 5 and 4. We have pared this down to just the 5 and the 4. Once Ed gets to the land plan, we'll see it really creates a nice balance. When you're just doing all the 4s, it feels very monotonous. The 5, in some cases, really fits. And again, there's a symmetry with architecture where sometimes odds actually feel much more appropriate for spaces. This is the Sonoma collection. These will range from 16 to 1,800 square feet. Again, 3-bedroom, and these are 2-story. So with these, again, we're really playing with the 2-story architecture. In some cases, bringing masonry up above that first floor plane. Being intentional about these, again, the separation of townhome entries and going entry, garage is kind of your rhythm. This really creates a lot of nice definition and variety for these spaces. We're also, again, going with those deeper, richer townhome colors for the siding, as well as the black windows and trim. Playing with gables and sheds that break some of those planes. And then really creating an emphasis with the stepping that happens with these buildings. We're really looking for something that feels like a streetscape with depth and doesn't run flat for us. So this is our Sonoma collection. Again, some of those details that speak back to the farmhouse style with bracketing, some of the porches, the columns, some of the things. We're doing a special detail on the trims for the windows with a 4-inch trim on the verticals and a 6-inch that extends. Again, just speaking back to that the farmhouse style. So that's our townhome collection. So I'll jump to our infinite collection. So these are our single-family homes. I'm just going to run through the collection of elevations that we put together. Some we showed last time, and actually some of them are new and modified. Again, the architecture as a collection for this community, we want it to be cohesive with the townhomes. So we're being very intentional and creating new packages for the exteriors, things that balance both lights, mediums, and the darks that complement some of the townhome features. These are averaging 2,800 square feet for these single family. We'll actually have a 2182, that'll be our ranch plan, a 2353, and these are all square footages for us. 2444, a 2820, a 2897, and a 3142. That's how kind of the offering will look for us as far as the square footage. And we're actually working on a new 3,400 square foot plan. Currently in development, we've actually been showing the partners some new elevations these past couple weeks. Plan that we're really excited for that can really just bump up our square footage for this community. Again, we're focused on all the details, so making sure that it feels appropriate and cohesive as we design this community. We want all the parts and pieces to fit and feel like it's appropriate for Copperstone. So these are our single family. And really just playing again with the masonry heights. It's appropriate for communities like this where we're balancing the masonry against those sidings. Again, appropriate for styling and some of those rich colors, just bring in some of the depth that we're looking for with the architecture. Any questions before we jump to adding the land plan?
Questions on that? Kind of review from last time, and we brought some additional homes on the single family side just to show full array. So, all right, we'll move on to
So back in September, we presented an option, option 1. So this is what we presented back in September. This option had 356 total homes on it. 108 of those were the single-family detached homes. Again, all lots were 80 foot by 135 foot deep. It had 163 single-family, the Sonoma Collection townhomes, primarily on the east side of the property, and then it had another 85 of the Napa Collection townhomes on the south side, so down here. This offering allowed us to have a very robust amenity package. We were able to offer and present a playground, a gazebo and fire pit with kitchen, a pool and bathhouse, pickleball court, dog park, championship putting green, gazebo, fire pits, seating areas, fire pit and seating areas, and then walking paths throughout the community to allow for that connectivity, not only between the amenities, but also through the connecting to the potential town infrastructure along Gibson 117. So again, this was option 1 that we presented. It was 356 or 356 total homes. Taking the feedback from that meeting, and as Todd alluded to, we were asked to look at reducing unit counts, increasing single family, reducing the Sonoma Collection, primarily again here on the east end. So we went back to the drawing board. We now have 3 additional options to review tonight. I do have some paper copies in case anybody wants a larger 11 by 17 to review. This can get kind of a little bit smaller on the screen. But we were able to increase single family counts, reduce again the 2-story townhome, Sonoma Collection townhome units. A lot of that was accomplished with taking into account one of the other comments we received where there was a desire to reduce building sizes in the Sonoma, so going from 6 units to 5 units and 4 units. So that's part of the changes that were made in these following options. So moving on to option 2, this one has approximately 345 townhomes. 118 of those are single-family detached homes. 142 single-family Sonoma townhomes, again on the east side.
Would I be able to get a copy of that? Maybe, don't mind if there's anybody else.
Yeah, just pass them all out.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, perfect. I should just handed them out. So So Darren hands those out, I'm just gonna continue to walk through
Yeah.
option 2. And then come back.
Thank you.
So, we have 345 total homes on this option. It's 118 single-family detached homes. Again, all lots on this project is going to be 80 by 135 feet. There's a 142 single-family Sonoma townhomes, and then 85 single-family Napa homes. As you can see, again, we primarily focused on the east side of the property. So as we reduced the Sonoma collection, we brought in more single-family into that eastern area and primarily along this north-south road. So if I flip back to option 1, you can see here we had a number of buildings in the Sonoma collection here, and then as we shift into option 2, you can now see those have been replaced with more single-family lots. This property, or this option, allows us 8 amenity areas with 10 features. So we are proposing a playground, the gazebo and fire pit, the pool and bathhouse, the pickleball court, the dog park, a championship putting green, a fire pit with seating area, and again, what will be consistent throughout these options is the walking paths throughout the community. So that we can tie, again, all the communities together. So again, this is option 2. This is, again, 345 total homes. Moving through to option 3, this one is 343 total homes, so not a significant reduction in total home count, but you'll see an increase again in the single-family detached homes. So there's now 125 single-family detached homes, 133 Sonoma collection townhomes, and 85 single-family Napa townhomes. Again, changes along the eastern boundary here. We begin to include more single-family and bring down the numbers of the Sonoma collection, limiting it to the eastern side of the property. This property, or this option, allows us to have a playground, a gazebo with fire pit, pickleball court, championship putting green, fire pit with seating, and again, the walking paths to interconnect all those options, or all those amenities. So 343 total homes on this option 3 plan. And then finally, option 4, which is the lowest density option, we are at 334 total homes. Again, increase in single family to 132 single family homes, 117 Sonoma collection townhomes, and then 85 Napa collection townhomes. This one maintains 3 amenities, so a playground in the single family section is maintained. We are now introducing a community garden into the Napa collection. So we've had success with community gardens in another property in Porter County, but that allows for individuals to allow for growing tomatoes and things like that, having additional yard space. And then finally, the walking paths throughout the entire community. Again, connect the different sections, the different neighborhoods, and the amenities. So again, we came back 3 different options. Option 1 was one that we presented in September. And then finally, this is just a comparison chart which provides you the information on numbers. You can kind of see again, moving from option 1 through option 4, the single family units increase and the Sonoma collection units decrease. So in comparison from option 1 to maybe option 4, you can see that we went from 108 initially to 132 single family homes, 163 Sonoma collection townhomes down to 117 units in option 4, and then the Napa collection maintained its consistency at 85 homes in that section. A couple of other things that I want to highlight before I take any questions. No matter which option we choose, we still maintain the entrance marker that we planned for this project. Again, it goes back to what Aaron was saying, where we're trying to theme the community appropriately to wine Northern California feel. So this is the entrance marker that would be, that would adorn the property on the main entrance. And then also we are going to have corner treatments on specific corners, again, just to kind of set off the intersections and provide that theming throughout the community. And then finally, Todd mentioned it as well, we're very cognizant of the improvements that need to happen on town infrastructure. So we are offering a $350,000 contribution to the roundabout at 117th and Gibson for that project. On top of, as Todd also mentioned, the potential for tipping the property to support other infrastructure needs. So those are the options that we've come up with. I'd be happy to dive into any one more specifically, but I think at this point we'd be happy to take any questions, comments.
Just, is the Sonoma is the single story and Napa is the 2-story, correct?
Other way around.
Other way,
Yep.
opposite way around.
Sonoma's
Alright.
2-story,
Okay.
Napa's single story.
Are they separated, like totally separated, or are they intermixed together?
No, it's one unit that's all 2-story, and then one would be a.
Well, I'm just saying,
You're talking about the areas.
Areas are separated, yes. So
is there a reason you have them like away from each other, you know what I mean?
So the active adults area, we're going to keep all the active adults on the southern border, right, where we have all the so all the active adults spot, and then we have professionals and 2 stories on those.
Okay.
All right, who wants to go first?
How many houses can you get if you got rid of all the townhomes?
That's a great question. We haven't done that calculation. The property that, or the project that we're proposing right now has a mixture. Again, we're trying to create a lifestyle here in Linfield, and so we anticipate trying to create a mixture of housing needs.
Trying to serve active adults, serve a lot of families, and
No, I.
actually, it's more work.
Well, I know a lot of us are not a big fan of the townhomes and stuff, so that's why option 5 would have been nice too. Sure.
We're trying to, again, with what we're offering, we're trying to just elevate, that offering for active adults, right? Something that, we're looking to find that buyer that's in Northern Indiana that wants to move up to, right? And hold them to a home, or we go to this particular state in the field, and just elevate the offering, bring new product for us, pour a lot into it, how they reflect in the, just trying to scale product for that, but also those buyers in town, and also a little more money to spend and whatnot,
Well,
that was our vision.
from the last meeting that we had, if I recall, and Nick, correct me, or anybody correct me if I'm wrong, I think the style, we went deep into the style of the actual townhomes themselves, and I think the feedback was, well, this was unique. So I think that was the feedback was given back. I know folks
Dave,
have.
can you lean up to the microphone a
I'm sorry.
little more?
I know folks have heartburn with the number of townhomes in there, but I would think that this project, you have to have some. So it's either, I think, we either have to say, yeah, hey, yay or nay, kind of speak, like, we don't want any, then they can just stop. But, like I said from the last meeting, that I thought they brought something unique, and I think the feedback was, all right, well, show us, there was too many. So, that's the feedback I would give. I mean, I was just looking at it, and on the east side, yeah, I'm okay that it's separated, because you have the trail, don't forget, that goes and breaks it up between the two, that will eventually be built. But I was looking at Plan 4, I guess, if you look at lot 105, lot 105, you know, what if you were to just get rid of 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, and 1? And leave that as green space in there. That gets you down to roughly about 93. Somewhere in that neighborhood, 93, 100, somewhere in there, that would be left. So I don't know if that's something, so now you have a green space and you have separation, now the townhomes are out. Or if you want the reduction in the other the lower level townhomes, or to Phil's point, no townhomes. But if we're no townhomes, then you gotta be, I think we just
I
gotta
mean,
say
you
that it's
can
no
even-
townhomes.
You can even do ranch homes over there. If you're looking for
You mean the ranch townhomes or ranch homes?
ranch homes.
I think you can only get in looking at,
enough.
that it wouldn't work, there wouldn't be enough.
No.
You can't do single, like the ranch homes would make no difference because the lots would still need to be 80 by 135.
Right.
So you're only gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're not gonna get any over there, 10, you maybe get another 30 homes over there. So.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, you get, like, so, you'd have to figure it out, but I'm not sure from their perspective, putting my business hat on for a
Right.
second, from
No,
their
I get it.
perspective, that it would make sense, there would be $0 to be had.
but I do kind of like your idea. Get rid of 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, and 1, and make that green space.
Yeah, I just did some back of the napkin math here, and, you know, that's 117, you know, I don't know, maybe there's something to be had in there. Again, I'll let the rest of the, or the pine. My only point is that I don't think the project financially can make sense without some of the townhomes in there. So it's putting my business hat on.
No, I agree.
But if we're not gonna do, if everybody's up here is like, nope, then just tell them no.
No, I agree. I mean, again, this is their business, I get it. I'm definitely not a fan of 5-unit buildings, I'm not gonna lie.
No,
You know, I'm
definitely
not. I'd rather, if you came back 3 and 4s rather than 4s and 5s, it'd be a little more appetizing. Again, you heard what I said before, I'm just not a fan of townhomes, it's not that I can't be persuaded in the right situation when it makes sense. I do like the fact you got it broken up into kind of like different pods, different communities, I think that makes sense. This rail trail by the town, you guys are not planning on installing that?
We were just designate that area there, understanding that,
I think we may want to rethink that a little bit, Todd.
okay, I didn't know, I thought it was gonna be a while.
Apparently you are now.
Maybe you're looking forward with the rail trail.
It's picking up steam.
Okay, all right, okay.
You get it, Mike?
Keep that in your back pocket, I would say.
Okay, yeah.
I was not at the first walkthrough of this, so this is my first eyes on. It's a bit much for me, just the density of townhomes.
It's 120 acres? Or is
It's
it?
121.9, I believe
Okay.
it is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not against townhomes. I mean, when they're done right, they can work. It's a lot
Yeah,
for here,
Right.
for Winfield. It's like, we just scolded Diamond Peak and thinned them down, and they weren't even close to this.
no.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Is there, let's talk about the building sizes, right? So, I'm just thinking, you like the 4s, right? Maybe even 3s, right?
Maybe 2s and 3s, well, not even 2s.
So these ones, so the width of these townhome buildings, per home, we're at 26, so, for, 4-home townhome assembly, we're looking at 104 feet, we go up to 130, we have a 5. Would there be, and we do like the 5s for the reasons that Aaron had mentioned, right? But we want to fully respect your desire. You're putting something in front of us to consider, like, bring those down. Can we consider taking on sides of them, having, half of them be fives, or is it, just want to know, is it a hard line in the sand?
It's probably a hard line, it's probably a hard line in the sand.
Hard line in the sand, okay, all right, okay. All right, so then we're talking about fours.
Threes and fours.
Threes and fours.
Threes and fours. Yeah.
Can we stick with the fours, threes? I want to make sure it's good. With my walk, I want to make sure it's good. I can actually leave more threes there, right, and around if we're.
So if you did fours and you put it off to the side, you created a green space where, like what I was saying, that fours would leave you with I was just counting buildings. You know, again, I think it's, I'd have to go back and do the math. But
Pull up the fours. Image
Will
of
you
the
like a
fours.
4 to 5 comparison again?
Yeah.
I don't recall what the 5 looks like now.
I'll say I do like the the single level ones better than the two-story. When I saw those, that was surprisingly unique. So, I like the look of them. That's what I'll say.
If we,
All right.
just to talk about these really quick, if I had any comment on these, I'd want more detail over the garages. You've got a roof line over the middle, but then you've got flat brick over, so more detail over some of the garage areas, like coming out with timber or something out over, you know what I mean?
Break up that.
To break up the brick. So left with your hand, that one, and then over that one. Something that can blend in and break that up. I would want something like that.
Make sure I understand that too. This dialogue, every other day in the office on plans.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I understand where, your vision, what you see there.
Just,
Are you saying maybe extend that roof line that's,
you could,
You're talking about just a projection out away from
just a
the brick,
projection
so
out
it breaks
away
up
from
the
it. Yeah,
facade.
but it doesn't need to be a roof line, it just needs to be something.
Something, so it's not like that.
Yeah.
Projection, or projection through the silo that we have of the stove.
I'm not sure, you know, I don't like flat. And
Do you have any renderings of the rears of these?
We have the rudder, which we can show you. It's got the rudder. So it's not photo real, but we can get you the visual of that. Yeah, on the front, that masonry that was a two-story, that was the intention of just bringing that style in. It's supposed to have a flat break, cross over the flat break.
maybe it will look worse, I don't know.
Everything we've done,
You know.
I am trying to try to get, perhaps I thought maybe there's something we can do on blocking or something.
Maybe.
So on the backs.
We can get to that if we can get past some of the bigger hurdles,
The
but.
backs, the Garen had showed us that.
Yeah, to me the front.
Back.
so show the single level.
Single story?
Yeah. The renders on.
Yeah, show the render for a second. So those are the single levels there. So if we're saying that, hey, we like these better, would it be better then to take out the 2 stories altogether and I'm just throwing stuff out here, and replace them with the singles?
Or do we intermix the double singles between
Yeah.
the 2 units? There's a couple singles, a double, single, I
Or,
don't know.
or intermix them on this side. You could keep one section if you want flat, and then, or single, and then intermix the other ones in. So if the opinion is that, hey, the single stories are way more architecturally attractive than the 2 stories, do some kind of mix in there.
Run some branches in with.
Mm-hmm.
That was my whole, and, you know.
I think that's what
why
Jim
I-
originally was getting at.
They were separate or commingled. And I understand why you have,
The concept?
I don't know what your definition of aged, or whatever.
Jim, it's you. You're an active.
Yeah, I know, I'm an active,
Actually, that ain't range too.
An active adult. So,
I'm not active adult. I'm not active adult yet.
There's no active.
thanks for pointing that out. I appreciate that.
Gotta have some fun here, come on.
But yeah, I mean, in the other area, I don't see any reason why we can't mix single stories and two stories in those buildings on the other side.
Are you talking about the east side?
Well, whatever is not the active adult that they want to keep single story.
So if they can mix it up and
I don't
put
know
it
which
in.
one that was.
Make it up and
Wait,
decrease
my
it.
understanding is the
Well, what do you
southwest
want to go
is
to?
the
That's the
one.
part, correct.
Southwest was the one-story.
Because at some point it
East was
becomes
the
not
two-story,
feasible.
right?
So,
I understand.
Yeah, you just say, well, then don't do it.
Is there a way,
Because
so you brought an idea of taking from 20 down to 25. Is there a way to blend in some of the ranches?
Is there a way to blend in some of the ranches, maybe? You know, I have the idea of, so I'm kind of moving into a next topic and blending in with this, the idea of taking 20 through 25, as I understood, right? Just making that green space.
Yes.
So that,
Just get them away from the single family homes.
so would there be a possibility of saying, let's bench down there, and we bench down to the ranches? That kind of softens the approach. And if you look at I mean, we have the backs of the ranches too. We have those broken up quite a bit too. And I think it could be a softening. We are bringing down the elevation. We're not two-story, we're ranch. And obviously we have the outdoor living spaces in there and the corners that can break up with the outdoor living.
Back of those look a little bit nicer than the two.
So yeah, they all
Yeah.
have specific inside,
Exactly.
inside, outside, and you're kind of broken up between.
Yeah, and there's a thing that we started doing ourselves for new communities, even on the single-family side, where we enter a community, we get our planning right, we'll take a ranch plan, we'll put it near the entrance, and we just find that it can be a softer approach. For any community, as you go through the community, you know, people like what they see, and they might not recognize why it is that it makes them feel good going through the community, what they like, right? That's one of the things we started to recognize for entrances, to bring it down to a ranch. So I'm just taking that concept of having a lower level home, and you're coming into a space, perhaps that's a concept we can bring to that, to those homes that are, the buildings that are 20 through 25. If we went with, we could do it with the 3 home assembly of the ranch plans, that's the Napa, the one level. We could probably go with the 3 home assemblies, and we could probably put them in that spot. It would certainly reduce the home count for the community. Be another spot for the active adults, perhaps to blend in with the two-story. And it is important for us to have some offering for the young professionals. We like, as I mentioned the first time, getting those residents into town. We think that they can establish a family here, and once they stay here and they make friends, they tend to stick in town. So just to have a spot for them in the town where they can establish here in Winfield. We'd love to, you know, still serve that element of the buyer profile. So, but is that an idea? Is that something that would suffice?
Let me ask this, to stop the back and forth kind of, because we can go back and forth and talk round and round in circles. So is there a number of townhomes that the group would entertain?
Hang on. And I got you, but real quick, so you have,
No,
not just so
I'm
I
good.
understand, so the Napa one-story ones are in the south of the right-of-way, of the,
Yes.
or whatever they call it.
Sure, yes.
The number of units from option 1 to option 4 has not changed, it's always been 25 buildings, is that right?
Oh, no.
Same 85. Yeah, John, you're correct.
So these are the same, this has not adjusted, so your 4 options
I want
are.
to make sure I understand what.
So everything's south of the
Well,
bike
yeah,
path.
the Napa, we left that alone.
That is not touched, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's,
And that break line of the old railroad grade was just a natural break there. There's a pipeline that goes through there too, so.
Right, pipeline?
so basically went from 41 buildings to 25 buildings, I'm talking the Sonoma section. In option 4.
I believe that is correct, yes. We went from 163 homes there down to 117.
So we still have 50 townhome units with option 4 total. Some are, in this rendering, 3, 4, or 5 units. Single story, double story, okay. All right, back to your question.
I'm just
What-
saying,
what's the magic number?
is there a no, I'm not even saying give them a number. I'm just saying, is there a number? I just don't want to go round and round.
Yeah, I think it's
and round on
doable, in my opinion. I still think we're a little extreme, and I do like your cushioning idea, obviously, but you guys have to make the math work. What is the breaking point? What do you do?
this. Todd, do you have a breaking point?
You'll know when I don't come back. I don't know. You know, we did, you know, seriously though, we did kind of run through and try to figure out like what does it take to make it work here? Because what we did is we really put it into the product, like we worked to elevate the product with the black windows, the elevated masonry, the deep colors, right, other things just with layout too, and kind of opening things up even a little bit more, like even on like the Napa collection, we left a lot of green space in and around, you know, that area just to open it up, right? So we tried to do some things. So, to answer the question, you know, we thought we were pretty close with option 4, of like bringing it down, but, you know, the reality is, guys, is we want to work with you, like, trying to figure out how can we get something off around here. And I didn't come in here with all of my numbers. Hopefully you can appreciate that. I'm trying to figure out what can we make.
I think I've said this online, just like I said with Dime Peak, I don't want to be wasting your time or dollars. If it's something that's doable, you need to, you know, I mean, I guess we need to give some feedback as to what's doable. You know, I don't know, or you need to come back with, hey, these are the bottom, that's the bottom line. I do like some of Jim's idea, or your idea about the step down and the mix up. I think that would look kind of good. I do like the ranches.
Are you
better
thinking
than-
that in an option 1 scenario or an option 3 scenario, or?
Yeah, I just say forget options 1, 2, and 3.
Alright.
We're at option 4, and
Yeah.
now we're at option 4, A,
Right
B,
now.
and C.
You know? Okay, I just want to.
work off option 4 if we could.
I was just looking from an amenity side. I mean, option 4, there's next to nothing as far as amenities. I mean, there is some park, there's,
Well, I would say cut out like.
so you have to think about that as well.
Well, what I would do is cut out Holmes 38 and whatever the one above that is, where the pool was, and just create green space there. Just where the pool was, just create a green space. You know, where movies in the park can happen for the HOA or something along those lines. Even the HOA could later determine they want a park in there, and then they could put their own park in, or whatever they want to do.
I think we could do that. You know, I'd like to figure out something here tonight that, I mean, I don't think we're that far away. Figuring out some kind of a solution So, talk about your idea there, Dave. I think we could absolutely do that on 37 and 38. We can take those single family out. We can open that area up. So we can do that. On the ideas of 20 through 25,
Well, that would be your step down for what Jim was getting
Yeah,
at,
that
or
would
what
be
John was
stepping
getting
it
at.
down.
Somebody was getting,
I
that would
just
be
want
your.
that green, honestly.
that
Green or
stepping
gone.
down, so-
Green or
Well, I think you could do, I think you could do let me go back here. So if you took out 23, 22, 21, 20, you did probably under 100.
28, I'm going to take out.
Yeah.
25, add it back in some of the.
But you maybe be able to put in the corner there, the ranches or something like that. I mean, there's some configuration in that corner there, and you leave some of that out. But that, I was just trying to get it to 100 is what I was looking at.
And so, in all honesty, in the office, we were trying to hold it to 112, just trying to figure out without having cracked all the numbers, but
Yeah, I would just think,
we're real close here.
yeah, I mean, I was looking at 100 and saying, okay, well, can you get to 100? I don't know.
100 with adding some of the map into,
Yeah, do some mix, yeah,
okay, 100 total in that area on that east side.
yeah.
Yeah.
100 total units, what you thinking?
No, I said I was trying to get it from 117 down to 100.
Yeah.
Mix in the ranches in there. Now, look, that's why I'm asking, what is the number at? Is there a number? Because it's 85 and 100. So is 185 too much? If it is, then
Mike kind of had an idea.
go Mike.
Well,
I was looking at like what the amenity counts are for the development. What would you guys think about getting rid of in option 3, the 2 up at the north end and the 2 down at the south end that are adjacent, directly adjacent to the single family, and then making all the rest on that side of the block the step down? So that way you get, you drop 4 of the townhome buildings and then step down the others, but then you get the benefit of all those amenities, and it kind of creates a natural break right at that road.
Okay,
Yeah.
something.
I missed you in my question.
Dropping these buildings
Okay.
here and here, these 4, and then stepping these down, so that way that road is like the
What's
natural
up to you guys?
break.
Right.
It's so over.
Know what I'm
Say
saying?
no, and be done with it. And
It's just it's just a suggestion. I mean, it's up to them.
You can use my terminology, spitballing.
If we're gonna do green space, I'd love to be intentional about where we drop the green space in and utilizing it.
So that it can be useful for the community. If the idea of taking 37 and 38, that space, it can be used. We can do things with it, right?
As an active adult, I would like some pickleball courses.
All right.
I like it, Jim. I like it.
How about if we figure out a way to get the pickleball back in?
I don't care.
I think we can figure this out.
I'll just throw out there too, just so the group knows on the TIF, so you know what kind of dollars it is. I'm back in the applicant piece, it's 15 million to the town, roughly. At the numbers I was calculating, not level 4, but more. I'm just putting it out there.
That's something to take into consideration, for
It's
sure.
a big chunk of change too. So
We take 20 through 25 out, and we do nap in there. We're probably losing 10, 12 homes over in there. That takes that count on that side from that 117 down to a 107 to a 105. What if we did that for there, and then I'll actually go one further, just throwing this out. What if we took out 36 through 38, we added back in pickleball, and then perhaps we
for the active adult,
perhaps we add in one other amenity too. We save lifestyle elements for the community. Just look at the walking trails, the playground. We've benched down, we've softened the move, and we've cut down the number of homes there by 10 to 12 homes. We can still retain the layout then, which would make sense because there's just, as land planners go, once they've got it established for how to work around the natural features and whatnot, the street layout, it's not something, like, we've looked at it like, they've solved the rubric on this for how to lay out the streets. And then it gives us a larger amenity space to utilize in the center of the community. We get the pickleball in, maybe we'll, I don't know, we can do the putting green in there too, right? And you have those 2 amenities in there. We've softened it, and we're bringing an upscale product in, right?
You're saying get rid of 20 through 25 totally?
20 through 25 would be replaced with some of the Napa. So we'd be benching down there. So from the single family, instead of going right up to, single family would primarily be 2-story, but we'd be softer there where we're going down to the 1-story plans again, same ones that we have on the south side. We bring those in as 1-story plans, and then the balance going around there would go back up to the 2-story. So you'd have a little bit of a transition from the single family moving in, and we'd be reducing by 10 to 12 homes for the east side. So going from 117 of the Sonoma to a blend, which would end up being 105 to 107, somewhere in that range.
What if we just eliminated 12 or 20 through 25, number 1 and number 2, and did the blend down the vertical like 3, 11, 15, 19? So get rid of all these
All of those, okay?
and then made this the blend point. the other side of the street and have this all open space.
Yep. So I want to avoid, with intention, I want to avoid that being an open space because we're putting in the streets all the way through, and just to have open space along that long of a street, it's a loss for everybody to have green space. It's not really conducive to good green space when you're just running like a full lane, because it can't do much with that green space there. It would be.
Like a par three
open
right there.
space. It would be open space.
Like a nice back and forth par three.
That would work, correct? That would work.
Well, even where 25 and 24 and 23, you could put you could put another gazebo over here or something. And
So the south side of it, there's some potential there. So, we could play with that, 24 and 25.
I mean, if we're gonna get rid of all that, I mean, yeah, like you said, we could put a gazebo over there, a fire pit over there.
Well,
Go ahead.
no, I don't know how long we want to drag this out at
Yeah.
this point.
I'm done. I've offered up.
At this
I
point,
told you
it's
it's
done, yeah.
15 million bucks, it's this, it's that.
Yeah.
You have to decide whether you want it or not and give them an honest answer back and say, look, hey, I'm not saying we have to vote, but if they're gonna go spend money,
You're right.
and I don't want them, again, put my business hat on, I don't want them to spend money.
Yeah.
If it's a no, if it's, hey, we think we can get there, like Todd's trying to do, then let's work with them. But let's not lead it on either.
Be honest.
Yeah, just be straight.
So I'll give you, I'll make one more adjustment to maybe what I think could work, and then I'd love to kind of straw poll and see where we're at. So 25, what if we left 25 as an open space, and I can work with that. I could do some kind of a pocket amenity in there where building 25 is. 20 through 24, that area, we come back in with the Napa collection, soften that, so we've got green space, and then we lead into that. We will have, and we're showing it there too, but we'll have landscaping, and we'll do Norway spruce, blue spruce and whatnot. We like the spruces because they're a little more hardy, better than the pines, between the single family and the townhomes there. So we'll get a nice landscape area between there as well, commit to that. And then I would take 36 through 38, we'll pull that. I'll put in pickleball and a championship putting green. And
Do you care about the putting green?
I think it's kind of interesting. I don't vote, but I think it's kind of interesting. Ed proposed it in a project
I mean,
in Arizona
it's
years
fine,
ago. and
but
I
it's
thought
a
it was
little-
interesting then.
I'm just saying, like, putting green doesn't do anything for me.
I'll tell you what,
Big green face.
It's amenity not for
Okay.
us. It's amenity for people that are gonna move in here.
Yeah, you're right, you're
Yeah,
right.
no,
Yeah,
so-
you're right. I'm wrong. You're right.
trying to make it a place that's elevated, right?
Yeah,
Something
it's
that.
different.
And
It's
you're different, right?
signature. We
You're
keep
good.
asking
I
for
want to
different.
make it
yeah.
a signature place, so.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, again, I'll just say, I'm okay with the changes that, you're offering up to keep things kind of moving forward on this. You gotta talk to everybody else.
what we'd like to do is if we could leave today, it's not a hard vote today. We'd love to leave today knowing that this is a plan that we can move forward on. We can start our engineering. We're coming back for the hard vote, but I'd love to hear, is this something that you guys would like to move forward on?
All right, so I got a couple final questions.
Go ahead.
If it was just the Napa and all other single family, I think you'd have me today. I think we'd be good. I do have three other quick questions on other stuff. I don't think we want another curb cut on 117th. I don't know if we're gonna get into the traffic there, because that's really close to the proposed roundabout. I don't think we're gonna want
The
that.
northern, the northern
Yeah,
entrance.
I don't think we're gonna want that. I'm not a traffic engineer, but just bring that up. Obviously, it's gotta have sidewalks all the way around it. I'm sure you'll have that when we get there.
Okay.
'Cause this will connect to the kitty corner to the school, so that's kind of the goal in mind, to get connectivity through the community.
Yep.
And then, and I don't have any numbers on the donation contribution to the roundabout. I don't know what that's gonna cost. Is that a 20% of the cost? I mean, I have no idea how that's gonna impact
Yeah.
where that, so, just concerns. Okay.
We
So
could
are you
probably,
saying that the 117th, you just don't like it there, or you
I
want it
just,
moved?
I'm not a
east,
traffic guy, I just
further
think it's
east?
really
Okay.
close,
All right.
and it's gonna potentially cause, it's like 109th, it's like Randolph, we're trying to eliminate the curb cuts.
Yeah, sure.
That's just my opinion, without seeing a traffic study.
And we have two access points now. If the town's comfortable eliminating that access on 117.
Yeah, I know, that's the catch-22 there.
Otherwise, we could, we could potentially shift it further east and put it much between.
If we have two entrances, why would you just,
Just
to your
two
point,
entrances.
just get rid of it?
Yeah, and that's my thought.
I would just get rid
And
of
then
it.
everything
Right.
flows through Gibson through.
Yes. It goes through the roundabout down
I
through
would
Gibson.
just, I would just get rid of the 117 cut altogether.
Yes,
That's-
yeah, I would just, I
Where
agree.
where I'm leaning, yeah.
Because then you could do the roundabout, to Gibson, you have it all, and you get rid of it.
At some point, I mean, the way this layout is, there's two direct connections now, and there's gonna be a third one to the east.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Good catch, John.
So, you guys still got no more?
no, like I said, I mean, the Napa part I'm good with. The east side, I'd still like to see it less. I just don't know what that number is. And again, I'm one vote here, so seem to come up with.
Still sticking with the traffic thing, because I wrote it down here, and, yeah, the same way, Sammy's like, I'm next. Yeah, 117, we already talked about that. Mike, looking at this rendering with roundabout access and all that, is that enough where the pond is at? Just, this is just hypothetical without any engineering, does it need, would we need to shift
The
it?
roundabout's being engineered right now.
Okay, so there'll be some shifting and going on with that.
But we have a CAD layout of it already.
Okay.
So,
So keeping that in mind as to where that is at, so where that, northwest corner may have to shift around and stuff. I know this is way early, so, so keeping that in mind on there. And then if we close off that 117th, definitely, figuring out the traffic flow and the traffic, everything that we need for those other entrances, because those will be more major now.
Figuring out Gibson Street's gonna be more critical.
That is highly critical, and that's one thing, everything, I can go back to the photos and everything, I like those, single stories, I really did. Those are ones that I put an asterisk on my thing. So I applaud you guys for coming back with, something unique and different, so that's what we've been asking for, I don't want, we're done with the standard home that everybody sees, that you can go to that community, this community, that community. So I applaud that. Thank you for working with us and trying to figure this out, but definitely I'm going to bounce back to the traffic in that. So it's something that, the traffic, worrying about that and figuring out that, because we're going to have all the traffic from 300 plus homes to deal with bouncing in through there. So once, especially once the roundabout comes into play, it'll help with smoothing it out, but working with DLZ and working with, once it's being engineered right now, figuring that out. That's gonna be key. That's gonna be key. That doesn't have, that is a factor in everything that we do, so, but outside of that, the land plan, the amenities, all that, I think for future residents, I think that's a wow. But the traffic is definitely for our current residents to get that figured into, so.
It wouldn't solve that through engineering, or
Mhm.
Gibson that hard center thing. And talk about the roundabout too, right? So,
Yeah.
those are solid.
Yep.
That southern entrance, does that line up with 121st?
No, I think that's
No,
not.
no,
It's
no.
for the
Corner
No.
does.
For the
That
north.
corner.
So that one doesn't line up with the school entrance?
No, that southwest corner is the northeast
I
corner of
think
the
that's,
intersection.
this 121st kind of goes like,
So the very,
This
very
way.
south, that's
Right there.
121st?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, because have you seen traffic go out of there at 3 o'clock?
it's very busy. Very busy.
Very busy at 3 o'clock, and that's just going on to Gibson, off the school, at departure time. So I work for the schools, so I know those are the issues. The people driving out of there, they don't care. That is your retirement community, your active adults. That's going to be a huge amount of traffic flowing right by them. 5 days a week, all through the school, and I'm going to have sporting events. Because that now is going to turn into a high school cross-country course. So you're going to have multiple buses there, after school, tremendous amount of traffic going through.
So you take more landscaping treatments, more buffering?
Well, I don't know what your curbing's going to be there, but that southern exit may be an issue getting out too.
turn lanes, that type of thing.
Yeah, decel,
Again, I think that's something that could be considered in engineering. At this point, I think it's either, like I said, I just come back to, you want townhomes or not? 'Cause if you can't get past that,
I don't know if you put in turning lanes,
All these things, like on certain, which I'm and we,
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely
all
things
these
to
things.
think about, for sure, that's why.
we can work those things out, so. Outside of that,
if you descale them to the Napa along that buffer, I'm fine with that. I know there's gotta be a transition there, and I've drove through areas that have 600, 700 yards of flat green space, and it's boring. It's not, it doesn't look good. You have to have something there. I do like the way that the townhomes are. I liked them before. It changes the amenities, the aspect of it. Why did you never change the 85? Was that just the number down there? You didn't increase, change anything around down there?
yeah, we had left a lot of space there at our last meeting. We said the focus was more on the two-story on the east side. And we had left that southern portion of that, we have all that green space built in and around it. And it's
And those are all 3/4s, right? They're just 3/4s?
3s and 4s, yeah, so it's really really nice, yeah. Jim?
Got anything?
I don't have anything to add.
When you see something with those changes, we can.
Yeah, just, like I said, it comes down to a quantity more than anything. We can work through the details as far as look and configuration. It's just,
And we'll come back.
It's a lot.
We'll come back with some thoughts on that area there. It's amazing what these guys can do, so,
yeah, I'm open.
yeah, we are open to it, right? There's right of ways to modify things. But, outside of that, you're.
Yeah, I think it can work. It can work.
So do we want them to come back with more rendering? Do we want them to start engineering some things? Do we want them to work with Mike to get some of the traffic stuff?
We're gonna have to engineer a little bit to give us the information we need. I mean,
So there's enough there that they could spend a little bit of cash and come back and be like, all right, hey,
yeah, it's important enough to do some engineering here,
Yeah.
because like half the board's worried about traffic and everything else. We gotta dive a little deeper into this thing to make sure it's gonna work.
again, I'm just trying to avoid, like,
Probably at least need to look at like the land plan and a plan for entrance improvements. I'm just speaking from an engineering aspect on Gibson as far as making sure that your layout spatially can work
And that's gonna
with those
set-
type of improvements, so that way you don't get to that point and find out you gotta drop 4 townhomes. You know,
Right, and then you got a better handle on your actual expected cost, so you know if you could drop them at all.
So our hope would be that what we could do is work with engineering, figure out the traffic, solve the traffic, not something that we get here trying to figure out, but that we get it solved, with engineering and whatnot, make sure that's good. Go through with engineering and then come back for, a public hearing, engineering, where we resolve the, traffic, challenges there, we've got that fully resolved. So when we're coming back with recommendations on the traffic side, for sure, that, we've resolved, what needs to be resolved there, so that we can move forward with the process and, public hearing network.
Like I said,
But
I
there
think-
wouldn't be a public hearing prior to any application.
No.
No, yeah, we apply.
Yeah, you're just like a public hearing and then we apply.
I'm sorry.
Public
Apply,
meeting, there'd be a public
hearing.
meeting and
It's a request for the
discussion.
public hearing, right?
Yeah,
Basically.
Well, I mean, it's a question if they want to do another sort of discussion item once they get it tuned up
Well,
to the comments.
what I may suggest, and if everybody's on board with this, is I think, go back to the land plan, go back, add in what we talked about or what you agreed to. Just send it over to Nick, let Nick distribute it amongst us all. And if, because I mean, there's no point dragging it back in right this second, but then work with Mike on the traffic stuff. But maybe, or I don't know if we can, the legal guy's not here.
Do anything.
No. Can we give Nick feedback as to, you know, yea or nay with the changes, I guess, instead of dragging it back, you know. Because then if you want to come back in for the public meeting piece of it, then, you know, I just don't like you going back and forth, you know, it's. either-
Process to get to the public meeting would be that they would have to have fully engineered
Right,
at that point.
Well, the
So-
engineered some old drafted.
yeah, I mean, you're talking a couple $100,000.
The tip stuff would have to be figured out by then.
Yeah,
It's a little bit to do.
yeah, there's a lot to do, that's why I'm just saying maybe send it over and say, okay, and, you know, if there's any communique, so at least we could see what the changes are.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Pretty simple what we're doing, yeah, so.
And then, you know, get with DLZ and they can communicate back, at least with traffic things. And then that way, if you come in for the public meeting, I guess I'll call it, where you're gonna ask for these things, we've seen it, we had it, we can have a frank and public discussion about it then at that point, and it's up or down.
Too many townhomes for me. Just gonna leave you with that. All right. Anything else? Any other questions?
I'm good.
All right. Thanks guys for coming out. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate the time.
Really appreciate that.
Thank you. All right. Nick, anything to add tonight?
No, nothing to add.
Mr. Duffy? Sean? Anybody? Anybody? All right. Motion to adjourn?
Please.
Thank you.